Hey guys, how's it going? It's Monster7 here, and today I'll be starting a new series called Retro Consoles. In this series, I'll basically just reviewing all my consoles, telling a lot about them, and showing up the history of them, and basically just reviewing them. This would be a good way to actually review most of my consoles, since I have a decent amount of consoles here that I have not ever reviewed. I think I reviewed two systems. That was the Atari Flashback 2 and N64, but they could use some a better camera. I evolved as being a YouTuber. My old videos are kind of really bad compared to my newer ones. So yeah, this would be a great way to actually review my console. We are going to be starting off this series by talking about the classic Nintendo Entertainment System, or the NES. So let's get started. This console was released on July 15th, 1983 in Japan and October of 1985 in North America. The console in Japan was released under the name of the Famicom, which here in North America is released under the name of the, as you see on the front, Nintendo Entertainment System. For short, people like to call it the NES, like I call it. This is actually a little story that happened before this console actually made a full release in North America. Before it made a full release in North America, Nintendo did a test run only in New York. Yes, Nintendos were only being sold in New York, and the deal was if the system did sell the right amount, they would, in New York, they would actually do a full-blown release in North America. And it did sell well in New York, and it did eventually do the full release in North America, as we all know. And when it did the test run in New York, it was only being sold with 18 games at launch, and 2 of them being the classic Mario Bros. And Duck Hunt multi-cart. Then, when the NES fully launched in North America in 1985, it was a huge success. The success of the system took the US video game market out of the rubble and back into action. And before this release, there was a video game crash in 1983, which in video game crash in 1983, pretty much consoles were dead. No consoles were being sold. There's a lot of crap games coming out for the Atari 2600, and with that being said, the 1983 the video game market was dead. So the NES really put the US video game market back into its place like it was when the Atari came out. Alright guys, so now we are going to be talking about the system itself and all about it. We're going to also be showing you some games that I own for it, and some of the games that actually really sold this system, so here we go. Alright guys, so here's the console itself, and so let's take a look at this. Sorry I don't have like a tripod or anything, I'm just holding my camera by hand, so please excuse that. So let's take a look here. We have power button, which feels very nice. Reset button, pretty much a spring. You press it in, it comes out. And as you can see here, what is this? Well, this is actually the flap that you actually put the game in. So I'm just getting a random game here. Skate or Die, pretty good game. I like it. Puts in like this, and what does that remind you of? Of VCR. Nintendo actually made it like this because they knew that the video game market was dead, but VCRs were definitely coming in and being very successful. So they made this design actually almost like a VCR. Obviously it's not automatic, you have to actually put it in, you have to put it down yourself, unlike a VCR, but you can see where they're going with that. Over here we have 2 ports here for 2 controllers, which we will show very soon. Over here on the side we have 2 audio AV ports, where actually at the time this is actually pretty ahead of its time. I mean, AV outputs in TVs are they're very rare to see, to say that, and they were very ahead of the time for that. So that is the AV ports that I have on the side. On the back we don't have that much, especially over here it's pretty much nothing. But over here, as you can see, we have AC adapter, we have the channel 3 and 4 switch here for the RF switch, which as you can see here is the RF switch. Well, there's an RF port that actually hooks up to an RF switch, which I do have. I don't have it around me right now because I don't use it. I use AV, but yeah, so that's basically what's on the back. Here's the controller for the system. As you can see here, it's square, and it's design here matches the NES design, and I think this is one of the first systems to actually introduce the D-pad as we know it today. Start, select buttons here. 3 buttons. With some controllers, the buttons actually kind of wear out and aren't as responsive. This one actually is in mint condition and is actually very responsive. So that's some of the things that happens with the controllers since they're so old. They become unresponsive and unclicky. So here's a controller, pretty good. I'll show you the controller port here. I'm going to go grab it. Sorry I didn't have it in hand, but you see that? I'm trying to let focus. There we go. Just plugs into the NES, and yeah, there's controller. So pretty good controller. A little bit uncomfortable, especially from these ridges right here. They kind of just do that. Doesn't have any sort of groove right there. Just a very sharp movement right there, but yeah, pretty good controller. So there is the controller. Okay guys, so now I'm going to be talking about the games for this system. Some of the most successful games that were released for this system were Mario Bros. And Duck Hunt, Super Mario Brothers 3, Excite Bike, Duck Hunt, the independent game Duck Hunt, and a bunch of other games I can't even get off the top of my head because there's a lot of successful games to this system. But those are some of the most successful I just mentioned. So let's take a look at my collection as we have here. The first game that I have on my collection is Mega Man 2. Awesome game, definitely a classic for the NES. If you do not have this game, I highly recommend it. It's an instant classic and it's got an epic gameplay. It's really awesome. Definitely check it out. Next here we actually have a game that I got in a contest from Spundy08. I won his contest. I say in February, and this is actually in the package. So Skate or Die, very good game. And some people actually don't like this game. I actually really like it. It's very unique. Controls are kind of a little bit. You can definitely tell it's outdated controls and stuff. Definitely don't stand up to this time, but well, it's a pretty good game. So I definitely would recommend this. And here we have the most successful game on the system, Super Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt. This, I believe, sold 40 million copies, which is definitely a lot, and, well, it was bundled with the system, so you probably could believe that, and it has 2 awesome games on it. If you don't have this game, what are you waiting for? I got this for like $2. It's basically worth nothing, it's probably one of the most unrare titles for the system, so, yeah, what are you waiting for? It's got Super Mario Bros. And Duck Hunt, so great game. If you don't have it, what are you waiting for? Next we have Captain Skyhawk, and it's just a pretty good game. It has very good graphics. For the time, this game was actually pretty ahead of its time. It had a little bit of a 3D type of graphics look, and it's a very good game. It's a shooter, so you go around, your plane flies, and you just shoot stuff. It's actually quite fun. It gets pretty tough near the end, so I would recommend this. Fairly cheap game also with Duck Hunt. Got this for a couple of bucks. Pick it up. Definitely a good one. Next we have here is an awesome racing game for the system. It's made by Rare, which we all know made Donkey Kong 64, I believe Donkey Kong Country, Banjo-Kazooie, and, well, they probably made their roots in the early days, and here's one of them. RC Pro-Am, 32 tracks of racing thrills. It's a very good game. Very unique. It takes almost like a sky view, but it's very hard to describe the camera angle. It's very much a drifting game, so you're gonna be drifting a lot in this game. Like almost every time you move your car, you're drifting. But it's very fun. It has great sound effects too. Great gameplay. The graphics are really good, and, well, this is probably one of my favorite games for the system because it's very fun. So definitely check this game out if you do not have it. Next game I got here is a game called Astyanax, and it's made by Jellico. it's actually not that bad of a game. I mean, it could be better. It could be a lot better, to tell you the truth. The controls are really bad. I got this game for free, to tell you the truth. It's pretty much the only reason why I got it, 'cause it was free, so yeah. Pretty bad game. I wouldn't really recommend this, to tell you the truth. Probably one of the worst games in my collection. I mean, the game would have been good if the gameplay was a lot better. I mean, I can tell by the storyline and all that, this game would have been really good if I actually had some good gameplay, so stay away from this. I mean, if you can ignore the gameplay factor, then pick it up. Pretty cheap game. It's only like 79 cents. I got it for free. So, I don't know. Check it out if you like games that have good storylines. Next, we have Blades of Steel. Now, this is a hockey game. It's very fast-paced. Made by Konami, as you can see there. And it's a very, very good game. It's a classic for the NES. This is actually a very successful title for the system. And it's really good, so pick it up, guys. That's Blades of Steel. Awesome game. Next game we have here is a game that started the Metroid series. Metroid. This is a very good game. I definitely recommend it. It's a pretty tough game, but yeah, it's a pretty cheap game actually. I think I got it for like 10 bucks, but it's an awesome game. Started the Metroid series. Very much an open platformer. Like there's lots of things you could do. You know, you're not limited like in Mario. You go in one straight path to the end of the map. This game you can go in all different directions. Very much, as it says, like they're an adventure game. So definitely check out Metroid. Here we have what some to consider to be the greatest game of all time. That's Super Mario Bros. 3. I wouldn't really say that. I actually think that a couple other games off the top of my head. I can't think off the top of my head, but I don't think it's the best game of all time. It's definitely a really awesome game. It's definitely like a 10 out of 10 caliber game. And yeah, this game is really took Mario to the next level from the original game, Super Mario Bros. 1, Super Mario Bros. 2, and saying that Super Mario Bros. 2 was nothing like the first one. So this really brought it back to its roots. It introduced a Tanuki suit, which is a whole lot of stuff. If you don't have this game, please pick it up. If you're an NES owner, you have to own this game. I mean, this is a classic game. Super Mario Bros. 3. Fantasy Zone. And this is a really, really good game. It's actually an original game by Sega, released for the Sega Master System, and then an unlicensed company that made unlicensed games for the system, Tengen, which is unlicensed games that pretty much are games that were not put out under the license of Nintendo. So these are just made and they're sold. And anyways, let's get on with Fantasy Zone. This is a great game. On the back here, you can see some gameplay. It's a really, really awesome game. Definitely probably one of the best unlicensed games there is for the system. And a lot of unlicensed games are kind of crap. I mean, you know, there's Bible games, there's a whole bunch of other unlicensed games. And actually, I have 2 unlicensed games for the system. One I'll be showing right after this. But yeah, this is a really, really awesome unlicensed game. In a really, really awesome game at that. So, Fantasy Zone. And I'll just show inside the box, I guess. Show you what the cart looks like. Very good game. Awesome. Here is another unlicensed game I have for the system, and that is Super Sprint by Tengen. It was a very fun game. It's one of the games I was in the arcades. It's an arcade classic. It's basically you're just in a sky view, and you just control these little cars, and it's almost like controlling little RC cars. Like sometimes if you go to like a theme park, they have something like this. Like you just look at the course, and then you control the car as you're looking at the full course. So pretty good game. I really like it. Burn some rubber and kick some asphalt. That is pretty bad. But here's Jackal. This is obviously, guys, the boxes I showed you are not real boxes that they came in. They're just rental boxes, but these are actually official boxes. Though, like even the inserts in them are actually cardboard, and they're pretty tough. So yeah, let's show the game. Actually, I'll show the back before I show the game. You know, in this game, you pretty much drive around. You run over enemies and shoot enemies with tanks and stuff. It's pretty fun. It's basically like an army game, as you can see in the front there. Here's some printed instructions I have that it came with. Guessing back in the day when it was in the rental stores, this is what it came with. Actually, pretty good printed instructions here. Yeah, so there's some of the 4 jackals. These are like the main people here, and yeah. So there's a printed out instructions. Let's take a look at the cartridge here, which as you can see, it's got a gold video cart on it. No, gold video sticker on it, excuse me. And it's actually in like perfect condition, like nobody ever borrowed it. You know, with rental games you expect grimy, sticky games, but I mean, even inside there's absolutely no dust or anything in it. I was so surprised when I got this. It's a very good game. Definitely pick this game up, guys. So Jackal, made by Konami. And again, yeah, I was actually pretty surprised when I picked this up, so definitely pick this up. Alright, so all the games in my collection. That was pretty much a review of the NES and some of the games I have for it. Hope you guys enjoyed. I definitely want to post some more videos on this series in the future, which I probably will be doing. This is what I'm planning on doing. I'm planning on doing this series every couple weeks. You know, I don't have 80 consoles, so if I thought about it, if I actually did this like every week, I'd be done with this series in no time. So every couple of weeks I might be posting these videos. Hope you enjoy the series. Tell me how you like the review. And this is Monster 7 here, and have a good one, and take care.